Hi, I'm Caleb.
Hi, I'm Darian.
And we are here to talk about
Card games!
our favorite card games.
Specifically, yes.
Specifically our specifically all favorites. All favorite card games. So that's an inside joke that we're just being stupid and you're never gonna understand. It's not as funny and you're just gonna go like, I'm gonna turn these guys off.
Yeah, that's fine.
Skip video.
I think
Next.
you care too much, and I think we should just have fun.
Oh, dude, I don't care. I'm just having fun. If you like this video, subscribe, like.
There's a lot.
I care too.
It hurts his feelings.
Yeah. All right, so
Otherwise,
we
it
also
hurts.
want to thank everyone for finally get us to 500 subs.
Thank you so much for getting us to the 50 buckaroos.
Buckaroos.
We appreciate it.
Yes,
And
500
we love that you guys
subs.
are here with us, and I hope you continue chilling and growing and
Yes.
watching us talk about board games and nonsense.
Yes, all kinds of nonsense. So our stuff just does not release sporadically. Actually, it does release sporadically. We do not have like a schedule release of videos. So
That's
we have
mostly
kids,
because we have life.
work. Yes.
I work full time. We just busy.
Yeah. And
We
this
do
is not.
this. This is our hobby. This
Yeah.
is fun for us. We like doing this,
Yes.
and it makes us even happier that we get to share it with people.
Exactly.
So-
So, I mean, eventually maybe we could turn this into something bigger, but we really like what we're doing now. And
Yeah.
so thanks for sticking with us. We
Yes.
appreciate each and every one of you. And comment, subscribe, like this video. It helps us out a lot.
Let us know what kind of stuff you want to see us do.
Yes.
If you want us to maybe live
Well-
stream playing games,
That.
we've talked about that.
Mhm.
Like, we wanna do it.
And we do want to do I know board games are a thing, but we do want to eventually do like our top favorite video games, maybe eventually.
But yes,
Yeah.
thank you guys.
Yes, thank you so much.
And let us know
Yeah.
what's come to you around.
Yes. Soon enough, we will be doing our top 50 games of all time.
Each
Cannot
of us.
wait. Yes.
Each of us having a top 50 list.
Yes,
Which
yes.
is crazy.
It's
to
gonna
me.
be So here we are talking about our top 10 favorite card games collectively.
Collectively, yes.
So
Not individually, we decided on this together.
yeah, we do. We
There
did the
is,
PUBG board.
however,
Oh yeah,
oh.
honorable mentions.
yes.
Yes.
Honorable mentions. They didn't really. We're actually surprised that it didn't get in our top 10, but at the same time, it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, which one are you going to talk about? You choose out of those two.
Specifically, okay, no, I'm gonna choose Love Letter to talk about.
Okay, cool.
Mostly because that was one of the first card games that you introduced me to.
Yeah,
I think
was.
it was, and then
Yeah.
what you're about to talk about was what I did.
agreed.
But it's such a simple game. Like, we literally have a little to-go travel size that we took to us when we went to GalaxyCon.
Yeah.
Like, we just took it with us.
Yeah.
Played it in the car.
I
on the
know,
way.
I know.
It was fun.
Yeah. This is a game you can take anywhere.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very quick and easy to learn.
Yeah. So
I mean, literally, you can throw it out on the table, explain the first 2 rules. Really,
yeah, draw a card, play a card.
draw a card, play a card,
Yeah.
and then the cards tell you what they do. You tell them that you're trying. It's a deduction type game. You're
Mhm.
trying to get out the other players. That's really it.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
it's just so fun to play the guard card and guess
Yeah.
if you especially when
It has
somebody has a
good
princess.
table
and-
talk with it too.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
it
you're,
does.
you're gonna be going back and forth with each other.
Yeah, because you're like, oh,
And
I
then
know
it's
what you have because I got to
deduction
look at your
because,
hands.
you gotta, it's card elimination. Once the cards are gone, you can count how many cards are left of each
Mhm.
because it'll tell you how many are actually in the deck.
Mhm.
But one gets placed to the side. So
Yeah.
there's always that one sense of you don't know for sure.
Yeah, I know.
So-
It's one that I think I've shown, it's one of the first games I will ever show people more than half the time.
Mhm.
It's like, hey, you never played a card game, really? Well,
You never really played a board game.
yeah, but
'Cause,
but
it
I think it's
still
fascinating
has-
because it's 18 cards.
Mhm.
That's it. It's fascinating what you can do with so few cards.
Mhm.
So that one did not make the list. Sadly, it was right on the. What was
Yeah.
it? Number 14.
It's
Yeah.
number 14.
Yeah, so but we play a lot of these card games. We have quite a few in our collection, but it just didn't cut it. So
Yeah, but it is a good game.
it is. Yeah, so we had to get that on an honorable mention.
Yeah.
The second one is Once Upon a Time. Well, actually, it's called Once Upon a Time: The Storytelling Card Game.
Yes.
And this was also another first card game that I played.
Same
where
for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Where there's not really a loser or a winner. You're just telling a story with cards. Like you say, you'll have a sword and a dragon and a knight, and you say, once upon a time there was a dragon.
I
and
think
blah,
the
blah,
biggest
blah,
thing
blah,
for
and do
me
things.
with this game
Mhm.
that I didn't immediately fall in love with it was because I was so shy.
Oh, sure,
this-
yeah.
the
Because you actually have to.
storytelling-
Yeah, you have to.
You
tell
have
the
to
story.
tell a story. You
Yeah.
got to be creative. You got to be a little bit like you got to get into it. And
Yeah.
like that was hard for me, especially when we first got together. Like it was
Yeah,
hard.
I know.
And I remember playing it having severe anxiety. Like, oh
Yeah.
god, I got to do this.
Yeah.
But now, like, I think it's honestly a good game to get you out of that comfort zone.
It's true because the
you gotta
story
start
is.
thinking. You're just like looking at what you got, and you're like, okay, what can I go with? Oh,
Mhm.
okay, here's my ending.
Yeah.
How is this going to help me lead
Exactly.
up to it?
But what's so
like,
cool is that people can interrupt you if they play like the same
Mhm.
card or whatever, or like
Yeah.
an interrupt card, and
they
then
can
so
stop
they
your story
Yeah.
quickly taking on a different path.
exactly because everybody gets a happily ever after card, and for those
You all
cards
have a different
you have
ending that you're trying to get to match up with the story.
Yeah,
Basically.
yeah, and honestly, sometimes I just like let it go because I'm like, that's so funny that
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin that,
Yeah.
but I also want to try to bring it back to where I want to do, and then it's just cool. Yeah, but there's not really like
It's
much to it. You're
definitely
just playing-
much more fun game when you get like a big crowd. with
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like, you
or
got, like,
people
a-
who can like
yeah,
storytell.
especially if you guys can feed off each other, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's
So.
super good.
Sadly, didn't make our list
Yeah.
either, but it is
Yeah.
definitely one that we wanted to mention.
Mm-hmm.
So, just a quick little mention that these games are strictly card games without any like extra tokens,
Yeah.
any little player boards, nothing like that.
Yeah, it's just cards.
Just cards.
Yes.
Because there are tons of games like that, and like even our little honorable mention a little bit with Love Letter, they even have like the little heart tokens,
Yeah.
which you don't even need to play the game.
Exactly. And that's not why I didn't
Um,
make it into our list.
Yeah,
at all.
that's not why I
but-
didn't make it into our list, but like that's something we're trying to let you know is that like it's the tokens that we're talking about,
Mhm, mhm.
not in this.
Yes.
Which that doesn't make it less of a card game. We're just strictly talking straight card game.
Yes. All right.
Now we will start
Number 10.
with number 10.
Mm-hmm.
And it is Parade. It is a
Yes.
cute little Alice in Wonderland themed little game.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly, I had to look up again how it plays because like I remember, but I couldn't remember. If that
It's
makes
just
sense.
it's just hard to explain.
It's hard to explain.
That's
I'm
all
gonna
it
try
is.
my best to explain what it is.
Yeah.
Basically, you're all gonna have like these cards, different colors, different
There's 4 suits. I mean,
I guess characters on them, but like the characters don't really matter. They're there for just like
Yeah,
art.
it's just- yeah.
And you have numbers from like 0 to like, is it?
I think
how high is it
12
go?
maybe.
12.
Something like that.
It goes
Yeah.
up. And you got like this little parade set out in front of you. You all have your own deck of cards, and what you're doing is that you're going to play a card, and however many numbers that card has,
You put it at the end of the
you
line.
put it at the end of the line. The cards, if it's a 3, the first 3 cards in front of that are safe. You don't have to pull from them. Now, let's say I played. I'm going to literally use the book example because it's hard to explain this.
Yeah.
If I played a 3 green, I have to take anything that's less than or equal to 3 or is a green. Basically, the point is that you want to have the fewest points at the end. So
Yeah.
you want to take the fewest amount of cards.
Yeah. So it's great to put at the end, but it's like, so I mean, say you play a 10 and there's 9 cards there. You don't have to take
Yeah,
anything.
you don't have to take
just
anything.
put it there. But you have to watch out because like once they start getting at
It
the
starts
at the
getting
beginning of the line,
longer, and
you're gonna take higher cards because
Yeah.
you played that 10 so long ago. So it's just a train effect, and you kind of have to like.
It's a lot more strategy in it than I could properly put into
'cause
words.
It's really hard. It's really hard to think
Yeah.
about. I mean, at 2 players, it's tough. I can't imagine at 3.
I
We
know
never played
it's
it at
pretty
3.
tough.
Yeah.
But it's a really
it's-
fun game.
It's fantastic. It really is.
It's for a card game. Like it's so like you're doing so much. Really, like you're thinking so much.
Mhm.
Like your brain has to really be like, okay, I got
Yeah.
this card. What if they play? Because you don't know what the other person's gonna play to make it extend, and if they take anything, like
Yeah.
it's
But then again,
really-
you can like rush the end game good because I think it's the first person to collect like 3 of every suit. I think there's there's 5 different colors.
yes,
I
if
think,
you get
yeah.
all 5 colors of at least like
think
one
3
of
or
5 colors,
3 or 1. Oh, it is 1.
one
I
of
think. I
each
think it's-
color, you could end the game.
Yeah.
And if you end the game with only like 4 cards, but the other person has 0, you just basically let them win.
Yeah. Right.
So like
right.
you got to think strategically about
Yeah,
it
it's-
because like
it's
you
very
want to
good.
have the fewest cards, so you want to get those colors, but you
Mhm.
want them to start building and getting
Mhm.
cards too.
Yeah.
So you're also playing stuff to try to maybe stop them from doing anything.
Mhm,
It's hard,
Yeah. It is.
but it's
But
fun.
yeah, it is a fantastic game. It really
So
is,
that's why it's on our number 10.
Yes, for sure.
Parade.
It had to make it. So. All right. So number 9. I cannot believe it's here, but
Why would you say that? It's
All
a
right,
fun
listen.
party game, and you know what? Some
It
party
is.
games deserve to be on the list.
it is. It's almost not even a card game because you're just slapping the table, and that is Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza.
Yes.
And it's really hard to forget the name of this game and the order because that is
That's the entire point of the game is
that's
you
it.
have to repeat taco, goat cheese, pizza.
Yes. So pretty much what you're doing is everybody has a deck of cards and you are shouting taco. Next person says cat.
And even if you have like
cheese.
a cat on your card that you just played, you have to still say the order of that you're actually in.
Yeah, exactly. So you can
It's
get caught
hard
up
to
in
explain.
like watching because you're watching like, oh, that's a yeah.
Oh, that's a
But-
goat, but I need to say
Yeah,
cat.
exactly.
Okay.
So pretty much, if you slam it down and it's a goat, everybody has to slam the table, and the last person to slam the table has to take that whole deck of cards. So you can just reset, getting ready to get rid of like your very last card.
And what's scary is that you can go on for a while.
Yeah.
And then like this big piles here,
Mhm.
and like everyone's getting close to being done, but then like you smack.
Yeah.
And then
It's just
There you go.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And it is hilarious, but sometimes you can hurt your fingers really bad. If
Yeah.
somebody has nails, do not play this game. It is dangerous. We do not advise it.
yeah,
it will
is
hurt.
dangerous.
It is really dangerous. But it's
But
just so
there's,
silly and fun.
There's
But
also these little cards in there that he forgot to mention, and I'll let you mention that because I remember.
oh yeah, I forgot about this. So like, if it happens to be a gorilla, everybody has to pound their chest and then slap.
Then smack, and if you don't do that, then you count as last.
Yeah. And then there's narwhal. So if there's a narwhal, you have to do this and then slap.
Yeah.
And then what's the
there's
other
a
one?
Woodchuck or a beaver or whatever, and like you gotta
Yeah.
knock
I think
on the
that's-
table
Yeah,
and
wood
then-
and then slam. Yeah.
yeah.
And then we have the another version of it that has more
Well, it's
stuff in
basically
there.
just you add it together.
Yeah. I think you could just add
Yeah.
it, or well, it's standalone expansion, but you could add it to make it longer.
Mhm.
But I mean, it plays great at any player count. Really, I think it can drag if there's a lot of people because that's just a lot of cards
And everyone's
taking.
going back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
We
it's
played it at 3 and I think 4.
I think 5 actually.
And,
Maybe
okay,
5.
3 and 5.
Yeah, 3 and 5. So I mean, yeah, it's just a fun game, silly, stupid, just.
Definitely deserves to be on our list.
Yeah, it's a straight party game. It's just silly, but yeah,
It's
it
fun.
did have to be. I
Yeah.
understand. So
Yeah.
So that is number 9, Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza.
I will say I do question how it got above Parade, but
I'm telling you,
That's
above
fine.
a lot of these, man.
yeah.
Whatever.
Number 8 is Point Salad.
Yes.
Yummy.
Mm. Wiggles. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But it's a really fun little. Is it?
It's a drafting.
It's a drafting
Yeah.
game. That's
I
what I
guess. Yeah.
It's somewhat
It's like-
drafting.
it's set collection and
It's
drafting.
set collection and drafting. You basically there's like this little market type thing of like the vegetables laid out
Mhm.
that you're trying to build your salad. And like the rows that the vegetables are being pulled out of have like the back sides of the cards. So like both cards are like used as like the point system.
Yeah. Multi-use
As
cards.
well as
Fantastic.
as well as like the actual things that you need for your salad. So like you can choose from these different things that earn you points. You can collect that, or you can collect 2 vegetables.
Yeah, it's just point cards or veggie cards.
Yep, and that's all
it.
you're doing, and you're basically trying to just build up. I mean, I don't really know how else to say it except that based on what point card that you got, you're going to try to build those vegetables to earn the most points at the end.
Or to score those individual
Yes,
cards.
yeah, and then the cool thing is that like a card can be scored multiple times on certain things. So basically, the points you can score multiple times based on how many vegetable sets you have.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
So
I was
it's like if you have for every 3 set of tomatoes, you get like 7 points.
So if
or
you
whatever.
have like
So if you have
6 or
9,
9,
then
that's like
I don't know. Yeah.
It's really cool.
It's really
so you're
great.
just basically building points. There are some things that give you negative points, so you got to kind of watch out for that. And it's
Mhm.
really it sucks, especially with more players, because like you could be eyeing this one point
Yeah,
card,
and
and then they
take
can
it from
just
it.
take it.
Yeah, but it's so great
Or if
because
they take from here, that point card gets immediately flipped over. But
Yeah.
there is also another action that you do have the option of doing, and it's flipping one of your vegetables. One of
flipping,
your
yeah.
point cards to a vegetable if
Right.
you want to use it as points.
Right. So what we love the most about it is that it
It's so easy to teach.
it is, and it scales at all player counts.
Yeah.
That's fantastic
I mean, you
because
put the cards out, you tell them what, you do this, you do that,
yeah,
they
and
play.
and you add however many cards to the deck depending on how many players. It's really great.
It's really fun,
Mhm.
and we have a good time every single time that we
Yeah,
pull it out.
for
So
sure, for
that's why it's on our list as well.
hmm
Point salad,
Yes.
number 8.
Cool. All right, so at number 7 we have Trio or Nana.
Can we just call it Nana? I'm
Yes.
sorry, because that's just what we have it.
So-
that's in Trio. I'm
So
sorry.
Nana.
Boring.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean it's a cool
I don't like the name. I
yeah,
like
yeah,
Nana
yeah.
a
I
lot
do like the
better.
theme. I think it's cool. So anyhow, so Nana is a game that was made, I guess, in Japan. So we have the Japanese version, which is kind of rare and hard to come by. I forgot where we got it, but it doesn't matter. But anyhow, so we have Nana, but if you have Trio, it's the same game. It's just the theme is Dia de los Muertos, which is really cool. So Day of the Dead stuff.
I don't think ours really has like a theme.
It does. It's very
hard.
random art. It's I don't know.
kinda
It's
like
just
it.
it is. It's
It's
like
just
it's
very-
like a penguin. There's like
Yeah.
a giraffe. It's like just
Yeah.
random. It's really
weird.
cool.
It's weird stuff. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's very like Katamari Damacy.
It
kind of-
does,
yeah. So it's a wonderful game that is just it's a memory game, and I don't like memory games. Okay, but I love this. It's funny because everybody's laughing at a certain point. There's
Mhm.
going to be a laugh broken out. But what it is it's kind of like Go Fish made better.
You're asking people.
Yeah,
what-
so pretty much what you're trying to do is collect sets of 3, and so there's 3 of every rank or every number in the deck. So you have 3 12s, 3 11s, all the way down to 1.
Mhm.
And if you're able to get all the 7s, you win immediately.
Mhm.
If you're able to get any denomination of 7, so if you have like anything that could equal like
Equal
5 or 3 or
even
3
minus-
5s, well 3 5s or 3 2s that equals 7.
Mhm.
So adding or subtracting 2. But anyhow, essentially what you're trying to do is in the game you have these cards in your hand, and you have to ask somebody or play yourself or reach in the middle.
Because there's like
There-
a little setup in
There's
the
3
middle.
things. You say, show me your highest card or show me your lowest card. And they have to do that. So if they show you the lowest card and it's like a 2, and you know where the 2 is because you flipped it from earlier or whatever, you flip that over and say you have the other 2, you play it.
Yep.
But only if it's your lowest
Mhm.
or highest. So it could be like 12 or like a 10 or whatever it might be. But it's really cool, especially sometimes when there's like 3 that are in the middle and you forgot what was flipped over. That's where the laugh begins, because I'm like, I forgot where it was, and you're like, let me know, and you're just and everybody's laughing at you because you forgot it. It's so silly,
Yeah.
and it plays like that.
And you could have won if you would have just remembered where that
Yeah,
last
I
person
know,
was. Like, it's
I
really
know.
tough.
Yeah, but
it's a fun game.
It is, and you can just play rounds and rounds and rounds. It's
Mhm.
it's just so
It's very
fantastic.
quick.
It is, and the card quality is really really nice. So
Mhm.
I don't know about Trio, we don't have that version, but
I do want it
yeah for
um,
sure, just to have it, just
just
to
to
see,
have it.
yeah,
But I think I prefer it than on it.
Yeah,
because
for
like
sure.
it's very
it's
the
sleek
Trio
and-
one looks a little too like sad and dark. Whereas,
Yeah,
like,
it is.
Nana,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like oh,
It's
fun,
silly.
like,
Yeah, it has
you
a
know
brighter
what I mean?
theme,
Yeah,
sure.
brighter theme.
Sure. But yeah, no, I think it is a fantastic game. That's why it is a number
Speaking of
7.
brighter themes,
yeah, right.
we come to number 6, Gloom.
Yes.
Which I think this is one of the reasons why Once Upon a Time, like the storytelling card game, didn't make it on our list.
Yeah,
It was
because it's made by the
this
same
one-
people too. Yeah.
This one is on our list, and it is. I mean, it's storytelling. You're
Mm-hmm.
basically trying to get rid of your family.
Yeah. So you start out with like well, you can kind of choose how many
Mhm.
people you have in your family.
Yeah, you got like these little family members. These cards, they're translucent, which are really cool because like
Mhm.
you stack them on top, which add abilities to other things that are already there. A way to die, a way to do this. But some are even cards that you can stop someone from trying to kill off one of their members by being like, oh, they had a good day, or like
Yeah.
they saw like a flower or a
Yeah.
rainbow.
Well, yeah,
Like,
or they
all
got
these-
married or something
yeah,
good.
Something good.
So you can
happened.
stop people, but
You're
like
just basically trying to make their life miserable because that's what they want.
yes, exactly. So you're trying to like say so pretty much it is kind of like Once Upon a Time where you're
Mhm.
telling the story.
You're telling this
where,
story.
like-
it has to make sense as to why you're doing this.
Yeah, it's like they
So you
stepped on a
gotta-
bee.
yeah.
They stepped on a bee,
And you can't be
then
quick about it. You gotta be like, oh, you know.
yeah, tell a story, and then
Yeah.
well, way over on my side of the town, or however you want to do it.
Yeah.
It's really silly.
You gotta make sense as to why these things are happening. You can't just play the cards.
Yeah.
Like that's not the point of the game.
Yeah,
The point of the
exactly.
game is not just to play the cards. It's the storytelling
It is.
aspect of it, which
Yeah.
is why it is on the list and not the ones.
Yeah, because it's fun, and the fact that you do have to storytell, I think, is really really unique in games.
It's what I
'Cause
wish Once Upon a Time could have had a little bit more with
Yeah, a
itself
game where you
too,
kinda
like a
feel,
little
sure.
bit more immersive feel to it.
Yeah, because it's just cards.
Yeah, but I mean, Gloom, it's really fun. I
Mhm.
mean, there's a lot more to it, and you get table talk all around because everyone's
Yeah.
telling a story.
Yeah,
So-
and then whenever you
And
kill
it's just
off,
funny.
I think you win, or well, you don't win immediately, but the game ends when you kill at least 3 or 4 members.
And I think there's like, oh god, isn't
It's
there
just
like
really
a
dark and grim.
you have like a card that tells you what needs to happen type of deal too, like sort of like the Once Upon a Time game.
I think so.
I think so.
I think there's like.
It's been a while since we played Gloom.
Yeah,
I
it
think,
has been a bit.
I think we need to play it again to really get like the
Yeah,
feel for it.
because you can also kind of skip over some of the rules and just play it for the story, and then like the card points.
Yeah. But the biggest point of the game is the story.
Yeah, it
is
is
the story
yeah.
building.
It's
that
just
you
so
and your
grim.
friends build.
But I love the art. The art is very like.
And the cards are so cool.
Like Lemony Snicket or like
Yes.
Addams Family.
Very Tim Burton vibes.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
Very Tim Burton vibes.
Mm-hmm. Gothic.
Very gothic. I mean, the cards are really cool. And that was number 6, Gloom.
Yes. All right, so number 5 is a very unique one that I always just kind of like put on the back burner, but you champion this game hard. You really do.
I just love it.
That is called Flux. Flux, any Flux, doesn't matter. Star Trek
we
Flux.
specifically play all the...
Well, there's Cthulhu Flux, there's like
yeah,
Fantasy
but we
Flux,
have the
there's
Star Trek
Flux.
Flux that we use a lot of.
Yes,
like,
yes. Well, we have all the Star Trek Flux.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, so Flux is a really cool game that could last an hour. It could last 5 minutes. And the way the way that works is that
rules
on your
literally
turn,
change
yeah. So
during the
so
game.
you have a specific rule set card that says draw a card, play a card. So you will draw that, and so the cards can be so you play a card. It could say draw 4. And you put that on top of the draw spot. So now you draw 4, play 1. And then somebody could play a card, play 2. So you're just like changing the rules constantly.
There's going to be a win solution that you can basically
Yeah,
play.
so-
and that
so-
can change too, depending
Exactly.
on what other people play. It can change literally at any point, which
Yeah.
is why the game is like...
Well,
It's
so
just so
so there's gold cards which are pink, and it'll say like you must have in your play area.
This and this.
For example, for the Star Trek one for the Next Generation, you have to have the Borg and Jean-Luc, and that's called Locutus or something like that. So like you need to, or it could be bread.
But they have to be in
bread,
your play area.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
another thing too, is that you can play cards into your play area, and they give you bonus things. to
Yeah,
do
so like
as
the
well.
game ends if you have that, and the goal is that. So it's really cool how it changes up because like you can keep changing the goals and change everything.
You
and,
can steal cards from other players.
yeah,
Like,
it's just wacky and zany. You really don't know what you're getting into.
Yes.
It's just chaotic, and like that is the fun nature of Flux is that you really don't know what's going to happen. So, but yeah, I keep forgetting about it, but when I start thinking about it, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, I almost feel like
is just
sometimes you
good.
don't like it, but then you have to, I think it's almost like you forget how good of a game
It's true. It's true because it's not so much. Actually, I think I remember the moments of playing the game rather than how it actually is played. Like I remember like just playing like all these cards and then you win by just having 2 or something. Just crazy stuff that. And I mean, I had a game that lasted like literally 5 minutes, and then one we had was like 30 or something. It was, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
But Flux is one that it really stands the test of time, and there's just so many versions.
Like you said, it does suck though, because like you could be building up so much.
Yeah,
in
like
your
I
area,
got so much,
and then all of a sudden,
and then get rid of all your keepers. Boom, everything goes.
yeah,
or something.
or like the win conditions, like only have this and this. Or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah.
and,
So
like,
you have to. It's great because you really don't have to explain anything. The cards tell you how to play.
Yes,
that really is it.
So.
Because the rules just always change with the cards.
Yep.
And so that is number 5, Flux.
Number 4. Da-da-da.
Yes.
Dominion.
Dominion.
It is literally a deck builder.
It is the deck builder.
Deck builder.
Yes.
Basically, you have this little market set up. Money, stuff, however, I don't know.
It's money, victory points.
Money, victory
or
points,
silver,
different
gold,
cards
victory
that
points,
allow you to do different things.
Yeah.
You basically draw a card, play a card. You have an action that you can take. You can pay money from your, like the money is cards, so you're playing from your hand how many ever money cards that you have.
I think you start off with like what, 5 bronze.
Yeah, and then like you just start building up. You take that, add that to your deck, whatever, buy another card, shuffle, take that. So you want to try to use your cards as much as you can that's in your hand, because they're going to go right back and be reshuffled again.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
It's the synergies that you get to build up. It's the
Yes.
fact of like
it's how nice it feels when you're building up your deck.
Yeah,
and then it's so nice whenever like you get like this card that allows you to do this action, but it also allows you to do a bonus action and play another action, but then you have
or buy another card
that allows you to buy another card, buy a bonus card, or the banker card where it's like add +5 or whatever.
Yeah, it's so
just
crazy.
really cool because there's so many different things that can happen.
Yeah, for sure.
So many different ways to win in it. Because
and so many ways to score.
Many ways to score.
Yeah, but like the game ends, I think, when 3 decks are depleted.
When 3 decks are completely depleted.
Yeah.
And then you're basically adding up at that point.
Yeah, it's just it really stands the test of time, and there's so many expansions for it. It's like and we'll never ever play it all. Like base Dominion is all we've ever played. That's all we ever need.
That's all we'll need.
But I would like to explore more.
I love the game, and I think I would explore it at like conventions.
Other
places like that. Sure. I would gladly, like, if I walk by and see someone playing Dominion, I'll probably like, I want to play.
Yeah, because I mean, like, you can play in 10 minutes.
It's easy, it's quick. Especially if you got like people that already know what they're doing, already know what they're playing, then you just gotta really, because I mean, the turns are pretty quick if you think about it, because you only have so many things you can do at first until you start building up, and then that's when it starts getting a little bit longer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because like you have so many things that you get to do on your turn.
Right. You're just like, bam. Okay, I'm gonna pay for this, and then it's just so cool to just like
oh, I got all this money. I'm gonna play all of this. Yeah. Okay. I can buy so many things. Give me a second. Let me think about it.
Yeah. But my favorite thing is to buy it or to just gain so many gold, and then on my next turn just go.
Yeah.
3 buys, boom, boom, boom. You're just like buying everything. It's just so cool.
It's really cool,
really fantastic game,
and it's just really fun. And he showed it to me for the first time, and I absolutely clicked with it very fast. And I don't like deck builders.
Yeah.
I'm really not a fan of it, but apparently I like them a lot more than I thought.
Yeah,
this one.
Well,
really
also we never played hardly any except 1 or 2. Yeah. And then this was the one where you're like, oh, okay, yeah, they're pretty cool. Yeah, cool. I get it.
This one I get,
yeah. Well, yeah, and sometimes you can have so many cards, which I think other deck building games do it better now because it's not like so much. Yeah. It's just like, oh, okay, like 7 cards, and you add more, a little bit more. So, yeah. And we were going to put Legendary on this one, but I think Dominion kind of just deserves the spot for this because Legendary is great.
It's an essential deck builder.
Yeah,
if you're trying to learn deck building and you just want like something that's going to be quick and easy to learn, because everything's explained on the cards and stuff too. Dominion.
Yeah. Now, if you're more of a Marvel fan or superheroes, just get Legendary. There's a lot of different Legendary things. Very simple to learn too. But Dominion is just like that essential deck building experience. So.
But number 4, Dominion.
Cool. All right, number 3 is some of the best times I've ever had sitting around the table with.
We just have
people.
a lot of his games.
Uwe Rosenberg. This is one of his just like, dude, how do you make such a interactive experience just silly game? And that is Bonanza.
Yes.
Bonanza is a fantastic, hilarious game.
I'm sorry, I guess. I'm going to make this very known. I don't like the artwork.
Yeah.
That is the only thing that when I first saw the game, I try not to be like that because, like, I don't think art defines a game.
At this point,
it does not define a game.
Not.
But I will say because of the art, it did make me like less like I wanted to play it. It's Uwe. I should have known.
Exactly.
And I was proven wrong.
Yeah. Which he makes a lot more Euro style games, but this is one that is just straight. Table interaction like crazy.
Yes.
So what you're doing is you are just planting beans in your garden, and you have 2 fields. But your hand is very unique, so you cannot reorder anything. It's all once you draw up. That's the order. It's like a queue of beans, and so whenever you are planting, you have to plant the next one in the line. But the cool trick is that you have to auction certain ones, or I guess it's auctioning. It's more like just like. Kind of, I guess it is. You were like, say, hey, if you take this, I'll give you another one because you're trying to get rid of a stink bean so you can plant a garden bean.
And if you pay attention,
but it's in the way, so you're like, oh, somebody take this. I'll also give you this and this, so you can take anything from out of your hands anywhere you want.
Any space, which helps you get things closer together.
Exactly,
too, which is how I even did so good because like I was doing that so often. But it is really hard because you do got to pay attention to what you're planting because if it's harder to get that many of them, you might not even score points for it.
Yeah, so
you have to play something.
So pretty much what you need to do is you have to play a certain amount of cards in one field, and then whenever you want to harvest, you flip those over, and it tells you like 3 equals like 2 coins or whatever. It just depends on the type of bean.
It's very few.
Yeah, it's few.
Actually.
Yeah. But it just depends on how
Yeah.
many that are in the deck or whatever. But yeah, so you just turn those over, and multi-use card system again.
Yes.
The coins are on the back of the card.
Yes.
So after you do it, you put it on your side, and you have your stack of coins.
And that's your coins.
Yeah. It's so funny. I mean, I've had people. Okay, so when one of the first times that we played it, or like third or second time, it doesn't matter. But anyhow, one of the times that we played it, we had people who just never played card games or any games for that matter, really, right? And we're like, hey, just play this with us. Oh, Zoe and Elizabeth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we're like, hey, yeah, let's just do this. And they're like, I'm not gonna be into this.
They didn't even want to play it, but they sat and
Immediately.
played it, loved
They
it.
were laughing. Everybody's just laughing. You're just laughing, and then we have people shouting, "Give me those beans! Like, give me those! I'll trade you. I'll trade you stuff." It's so funny.
It's
so
good
chaotic.
Table interaction.
It really
it gets everyone
Yeah.
going back and forth with one another.
Oh yeah. I mean, Bonanza just kills it every time, no matter what.
Yes, there is a board. Okay,
True.
but you don't even
You don't
really
need it.
need
You don't need it. No, you really don't.
Same
It's
thing.
just
Like,
two
you
things.
just need to have your rows.
I think in one of the first editions it was just cards,
Yeah.
so we're safe.
Yeah, but it is like that's the only thing. It has a little board just to basically show you where you're planted.
Yeah,
that's
it.
really it.
You don't need it.
You don't need it.
Yeah.
So if you toss those and you want to just put the cards in a bag so you can take it for on
That's
the go,
true.
like,
You really
do
could.
that
Oh my
you
gosh.
don't. Yeah,
Do that.
yeah, because you don't need the
Life
boards.
has changed. We're playing that. I'm finding the 2-player variant. We're gonna take and play this. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
it's hilarious. It really is funny. And
Yeah.
Bonanza's number 3 for sure.
Yes.
Number 3.
Number 2 is this beautiful little card game called
Yeah.
Sea Salt and Paper.
Yes.
I just love this. I mean, yeah, it's
You
a.
can stop there.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
it's a little set collection game.
Yeah.
You're basically playing a card, discarding cards.
Yeah, that's right. I think you have a hand of cards, but you
Yeah.
have to draw and then discard 2 or something. I forgot.
No, you draw, discard 1. I think you don't have to.
and
discard
there's 2
it.
different
and
discard
it does not
piles.
have to be and yeah, the 2 different. You can even draw from the discard piles. So so
you know what you're getting instead of
And you're basically playing these cards to earn points for yourself at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of the cards actually give you the ability to draw from the discard pile or underneath the discard pile.
Yeah, or sift through it, or steal from a player's hand. Like if you play
things you can do.
Shark. If you play a shark and a human,
a
together.
shark and a swimmer, you get to take from another person's hand, which is scary because they could have these what are the cards?
The mermaids.
The mermaid cards, which are also worth a lot of points.
And if you get all 4, you immediately win the game. You don't even have to score.
And only 4 in the deck.
Mm-hmm. But I think you just play rounds until you get to a certain point system.
Yes.
I think it's 40 or something. Like that. 30 maybe.
You can know there's a little pressure luck type of thing where it's hey, I think I have more points than you.
Yeah. So you could end the round.
Yeah.
But you have to say, I forgot, is it pass or there's something.
Pass, or you can try to
just bet
hey, I have more points than you. And if you win, you get more points based on you get to score certain things that the other person doesn't get to score.
So everybody simultaneously reveals, and if it's if somebody else has more points than you lose half of what you bet or whatever. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's so good.
It's so good, and it's
so
so
good.
relaxing, and it's so calming, and it's just little cards. I love them.
Oh, yeah, and the box is literally it's a
perfect,
card box.
Perfect size. Little card box. You just take it with you.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll just pick it up and just hold it for a second. This is the best box for a card game.
Really
it's
nice.
just fantastic.
The card quality is really nice too. The art is really cool. It's paper mache.
Origami.
Origami.
Yeah. I think,
It's it's all origami, and it's really cool. And I mean, it's a cute little game.
Yeah, it's fun. Chill. It's a great end of the night.
It's easy to learn. It honestly is easy to learn. You just got to sit down and kind of explain how some of the cards work, which is a cute little guide thing that I think you can get to. Is it on another card?
Yeah, it is.
A little guide so that
it'll
the
tell
other
you what
person
they
can
do.
show what the things do. Which
and how many cards there are. And
Yep, and it's very. I don't know.
Yeah,
I just love it,
fantastic.
and it definitely deserves our second place.
It does.
Some might argue maybe it deserved first, but
so here we are at number 1, and the reason why I had to champion this.
Number 2, Sea Salt and Paper.
Yeah, that's it. All right, so our number 1 has to take the top spot because it is so unique and different, and we've never seen a game like this before. That is Arboretum. It is, my mind with this game. It's so unique because, first of all, it scores very strangely.
Mm-hmm.
You actually are explaining the scoring more than you're explaining how to play the game. But the reason being,
that's not true because you have to be able to know how to
play
score.
stuff to score. I know, but there's just so many other prerequisites. Mm-hmm. So, like, for example, on your turn, all you're doing is playing a type of tree. It could be like a cherry blossom, right? So on my turn, I'm going to play a cherry blossom. And I think it's rank 1 to 8. Very simple. Like every type of tree has 1 to 8. And with certain players, you only add in certain types of trees. And you can kind of choose which trees you like. So if you like some trees better than other trees, whatever. So like spruces or just cherry blossoms or whatever. But it's really fascinating because it's not so much a card game as it is like a tile laying game. It turns into that. Because what it is, yeah, exactly.
Yes,
so like,
but it's tile laying.
It feels like it, yeah. Because like you're putting things down and you're making rows and places of trees. Like you're trying to make things branch out. But what I love is the scoring because if somebody at the end of the game has the number 8 or number 1 of that card or something like that, the other person who has that, like the majority, do not get to score because the other player stops you by playing that 8 because they have it's just so wild to me how like it really works. The way it operates, it's like it's a puzzle that's always fresh and new every single time. And like it's so fun to just like look at your opponent like, I don't know if you have the 8, but you might have the 1, but I know I have the 8 for you, so I'm already stopping you. But you can't like say, you're just laughing and like going like, oh, this is. But it's like it's slight bluffing because you're trying not to make yourself known that you're just like that you have so many points going on. But I love the rows of trees that you're working out. So it's like if it's a 1, 2, and 3 and 4, that's a row, and you score for those. And if they're the same type of tree, you score even more. And it's so cool because you can break up the sets, you can like make it branch off and just do so many things. And I like knowing when you discard something, somebody could take that card from you. So you got to watch out what you discard and what you draw right up. And it's just really wonderful. It really is.
It's a really cool game. I think the reason why I wouldn't have personally put it at number 1.
Yeah, which I mean, I
agree because it is a really good game, and I know it's a good game, but it might not be the game for me.
Yeah. So honestly, your number 1 is Seas on Paper. My number 2 is Seas on Paper.
Yes.
And then vice versa. So I think that's kind of how it works.
That's how it is for us. But like the only thing that I disliked about the game is the complexity of the scoring, and it is slightly harder to understand the whole if they have the 1 and 8 system.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest with you, we've played it a couple times now. I still don't fully understand that, and I think that's why you keep winning because you get it, you understand, you know how it plays.
I think when you play it again, you go like, oh, this is super thinky and so in depth.
It is very super. I know it's
crazy to me that
you really got to think about what you're doing. You got to think about what you're playing. You got to think about what you're putting back when you're discarding a card.
That's what I'm saying because all it is numbers 1 through 8 and types of trees.
Yeah.
That is what the game is. Yeah, and then the scoring is so fascinating.
The little art of the trees is also really pretty.
Yeah, and the back of the card is beautiful. Yeah. It's just a wonderful, beautiful game. And like, I don't know. It's just fantastic. I don't know what else to say. It's just, it gets me every time.
It does deserve number 1 spot for the simple fact of how unique it is.
Right.
It is very, very good.
Agreed. And I think Sea Salt and Paper deserves number 1 spot for like how a set collection can do it so well for just a tiny box. So but that's our top 10.
That's our top 10 card games.
Yeah,
I definitely think everyone should try this out.
Or some of these,
and definitely go to your local game shops.
Yes,
and stuff.
So our local game shop is Family Game Night. Yes,
and they have tons of stuff.
Yes, they have so many great card games. They're great people.
I don't know if local game shop near you has it, but like the one that we have has a little area where you can play and test out games. Like games that they already have that are open to play, and I definitely think that if you're not sure about wanting to buy something.
Yeah.
But you want to get a feel for it,
Mhm.
definitely do that.
Yes, yeah, and they have a cool arcade. It's just great. So
Not even there, but I'm just saying, like, if at your place and they have that available,
Oh,
definitely
yeah,
take
yeah,
advantage of it,
yeah,
because
for sure.
that's how you can introduce yourself to new games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just always try stuff. Go
Always.
to conventions. Do things.
Yes.
Play more games.
Play more games.
Yes, for sure. But yeah, so we thank you so much for checking us out and watching this video, and subscribe and like. Tell us your favorite card games of all time.
Yes.
And yeah, we thank you so much for sticking
Just
around.
being here. And
Mhm.
again, thank you so much for the
Yes.
500 subscribers.
Yes, we appreciate you all. So, all right, ta for now. We'll see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.